to the STLK in the UTA Jazz podcast. I'm Conjo. As y'all know, this is Paul, and we are back. And we apologize from the bottom of our hearts for, being away for a little bit, but we are back weekly, ready to give you all the content you need. And I'm going to celebrate here with a nice little Monster Open because, that's what we do on here.
Had I known we were going to be doing that, mine's almost gone.
Paul had to get an early start.
I had an early morning. My kid woke up at 5. It's been a long one. So,
man, there's nothing better than that.
Nothing.
But let's go. Like jazz?
I love jazz.
You like jazz?
Not as much as the Warriors like coming to Utah, but I like jazz.
Or LeBron not coming to Utah.
I don't want to talk about that.
Or LeBron not coming.
Did you see that he said he's 50-50 on the tour? Like a farewell tour.
I did see the 50-50.
And we can dive into
For those who don't know, LeBron said he was 50-50 on doing like a farewell tour,
sure,
like Kobe to retire, or doing a Tim Duncan where he just doesn't tell anyone and then just retires.
By the way, I'm done.
Yeah.
Whether he does it or not, I can't imagine Utah having a warm welcome for him.
He's doing a farewell tour.
Yeah, he is. But again, he never plays in Utah. He always joked about not liking Utah. I can't imagine us. I'm a big LeBron guy, and I'm from Utah.
Yeah,
but I know I am. We all know I am too. Yeah. Let's talk jazz, though.
Yeah, we got a great show. Jazz. We're going to touch a little bit on All-Star Weekend. Do some standing predictions, and then maybe some fun stuff at the end. So,
you like jazz?
Yes, trade deadline had not hit, and so notable things that we did at the trade deadline.
Is it
we
notable?
were expecting something crazy. This is probably was the most underwhelming trade deadline in NBA history.
Like across the league, it was.
I mean, we were getting like on our toes about PJ Washington getting traded. Like it was the most. It was
the Hawks should have made a move.
Oh, perhaps you have to. You should have.
I think the Warriors had Kuminga not come alive the last few weeks. They have to make a move. Lakers, I personally was in the camp of like, don't make a move. The Jazz should have made a bigger move, whether it's to sell or to buy.
The Jazz made a lot of moves. We got Otto Porter.
Thank you.
Yes. And Kira Lewis.
For those who don't know.
Kevin Knox that we ended up dropping anyway.
That was sad. We did like a welcome to Utah and then cut him.
Yep.
So the Jazz got those 3 players. In return, we got, we gave up Ochai Agbaji and Kelly Olynyk. And I believe that's
Simone.
it. And Simone Fontecchio.
Yep.
Who in his first game with the Pistons, is that right?
I think he's on the Wizards.
Whoever he went to. I know it was East Coast and it wasn't a good team.
Yeah, one of
he
those.
had a career high in multiple aspects of the game in his first game.
Good for Simone.
Let's talk Warriors. The game real quick.
Yes.
If you're willing. There's a few key numbers I want to touch on. The first being Klay Thompson.
First game off the bench since his rookie season.
March.
And goes 35,
of
right?
2012. He goes 35 points in 28 minutes. 7 for 13 from 3. Incredible.
Klay's always been a Jazz killer. Him and KD is the Jazz killer. I've decided. He is the Jazz killer.
And I agree with you on that. The next number I want to touch. 3-point field goals attempted in this game. Do you have any both teams combined for?
I would assume the Warriors took more.
No.
Wow.
No. Jazz more by 7.
Okay.
Combined number 91 3-point attempts. It's not a league high. It's not a game high, but it's high.
That's high.
That's a big number.
Yeah.
Which just goes to the pace of the game. The last number, and we're going to talk about Keontae.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm wearing this on purpose. I'm waiting for his name to be brought up.
This is the most impressive part. 9 made threes is awesome. I think it tied the rookie record. The more impressive part to me is getting 16 3-pointers off. Yeah. Shooting 16
is a lot.
Is so hard. Because these defenses key in
especially as a rookie, dude, to have that kind of light.
That's a skill. That's a skill 100%. To find that many shots.
Well, and this was only his second game back in the starting rotation, I want to say.
Yeah. 41 minutes from Keontae as well.
Yeah.
Which is really exciting.
Will Hardy said that it was time for the future to throw Keontae in the starting lineup. He was coming off the bench. And that's the thing. That was a great play.
Yeah.
I loved seeing him come off the bench, prove what he does, and then comes to the starting lineup and drops 33 points, 9 threes.
Pretty sweet.
Alongside Colin Sexton, who's still, fact check me on this, but I think Sexton's still 24 or 25.
Let me see.
Like, he's extremely young still.
25.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. And Sexton had, 35 that game?
Yeah. No, he had 35.
Yeah. Look at that backcourt. 35 and 33 from a 20-year-old and a 25-year-old. That's promising.
Sweet. That's pretty sweet.
That's excluding Lowry Markkanen.
I really like Colin getting to the line 13 times. And I know we're box score looking right now. If anyone's listening to this that watched the game, you probably forgot how the game went anyway.
Yeah, it didn't go very well.
Well, I mean, it was ebbs and flows. And that was actually the point of me talking about 91 three-pointers attempted. With games like that, it's kind of hard to judge because there's just so much variance.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we're talking about the box score because it's almost a week later. We don't have anything else to talk about.
I mean, we don't want to talk about John Collins hucking it into the stands.
Listen, I don't hate it. When that shot goes up, you already know in your head there's not a lot of time left.
Yes.
And then when you get the rebound, the first thing you're thinking is, we're down 3.
We're only down 1.
Down 1. I better not let the game end with the ball in my hands.
Yes.
Like, I can't do it.
There's 3 people on the perimeter. One of them has to be open.
I'm with him. Throw the ball out there and let him go find it. Went a little far. As far as the box score goes, there isn't anything else that really stuck out. Like I said, Keontae shooting 16 is really impressive. Most people can't shoot 10 in the game. It's just hard to find that much space.
100%.
Steph Curry had an okay game, 16 points, only made 4 shots.
We all know that's my dream.
I love Steph, man. I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, the Jazz don't play again until Thursday. They're home against the Hornets.
That should be...
the line's already out for that game.
Oh, it is?
Minus 9.5 for the Jazz.
Yeah, I'm slamming
Mortgage that. Yeah.
I mean, the Hornets are literally horrible.
They're all going to be hungover from the All-Star break. I don't blame them. Like, it's an All-Star break.
Yeah.
They don't have anything to play for.
Yeah, the Brandon Miller and whoever else is on that team. Yeah, because I guess they have Grant Williams now.
Bridges. Yeah.
Did
you see
some allegations over in that side of town?
Did you see that Williams picture that leaked?
Yes.
Okay, if you haven't, look it up. We're not going to show it here.
9.5. I'm going to slam that.
Yep.
Hornets are bad. Wizards only 1 game ahead of the Pistons.
Yeah.
So they're in a battle for worst team ever.
I wouldn't say ever.
Yeah. There was the Bobcats that 1 year is just horrible.
Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, a lot of people say, like, what are the Jazz doing moving forward? What would you say? A 10-year-old kid comes up to and says, Paul, I just love the Jazz. What are they doing? What's the move? What are you telling him?
I don't know what the move is. We're 26 and 30 right now. We're sitting at 11th in the West, and we're starting to play our young guys more. I want to see Bryce Sensabaugh get on the court. And I think what you said earlier was right. Will Hardy, it's time for the future. Let's start playing our rookies more. I don't know if that means we're tanking. I mean, it kind of feels like we are, giving up Olynyk and Abaji. We're not playing for play-in, I don't think, anymore. Hopefully we convey this pick to Oklahoma City this year. I pray we do. I pray we do. We're not trying to win right now, though. I tell the little Connor, we're not trying to win. I apologize, man.
Wait a couple years.
Yeah, wait at least 2 years.
I do think we're going to try and make the play-in. I really do. I just don't know why or what that does. But anyways, so, let's touch on the standings here. So standings have looked really different lately. So what me and Paul are going to do is we're both going to rank 1 through 10, the standings of the East and the West, and then compare at the end of the season who was more correct in that regard. Okay. So I would do, like, if you got it right,
our predictions.
If you got it right, it's like 2 points. If you're 1 off, it's 1 point.
And then if you're 2 off, it's 0.
0, yeah. Cool. So let's start in the East. And I want to hear your East 1 through 10. Should we go all the way through one by one?
Let's go. I say my 1, you say your 1.
Okay.
My 1, this is predictions towards the end of the year, or who I think will finish at the end of the year. I think the Boston Celtics finish as 1.
As well.
Okay.
Boston Celtics.
Number 2, I think the Cavs do finish at 2.
I also have the Cleveland Cavs.
I don't see them dropping. I don't see them dropping.
Dude, they've played some crappy teams, though. If you look at that stretch, they've played the Nets twice, the Wizards twice, the Pistons twice, the Spurs twice.
Still NBA teams, though.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. I still think it's just as valid. I think it's great.
It's like when Embiid was going off. It's like, yeah, but they're still NBA guys.
Yeah.
Like, number 3, I do see the Bucks staying at 3. They
I
dropped
also
a
have the
handful of
Bucks
games.
at 3.
I think Doc Rivers is going to figure it out. I think he's a good coach.
I almost put them at 4 and swapped my 4 for 3.
Yeah.
I almost did, but I do think that end of the season they're going to want more.
Why do I feel like you have the Pacers at 4?
Who do you have it for?
I have the Knicks still.
I have the Knicks as well.
Okay, so our top 4 is the exact same.
Yes, I have the Knicks as
it
well.
stands right now. At my 5, I do have the Indiana Pacers.
I do as well.
Okay, so we probably should have just said it's going to be the exact
Pacers.
same. At my 6, call me crazy, I have the Orlando Magic.
Okay, here we go. I have the Miami Heat.
Okay, that's fair.
Yep. And I thought about the Magic.
Yeah.
Reason why is I just think the Heat need to play a little bit more. They're injured, but I think at the end of the season they'll end up winning more games than the Magic will. So I am picking the Miami
See,
Heat.
and I think that's a coin flip. They have the same exact record right now.
And we know the Heat don't care what they end up in the regular
they were
season.
Playing last year, they went to the finals.
Exactly.
Like so they don't care.
That's valid.
Number 7, I do have the Miami Heat.
Yep. So I have the Magic.
Okay, swap those. My 8, this is tough. It has to be the Sixers.
I have the Sixers
it has
as
to be
well.
The Sixers, like Embiid's out, but he's not out forever, and they're still a
great
good
guys.
team without him.
Tyrese Maxey,
Paul Reed, who I think is good.
Yeah. Who does not love Paul Reed does not love the minimum for awards.
No, I'm like, hey, this isn't going to
This
impact
game, his MVP was not meant for you, Paul Reed.
You were not thought of.
Who is your 9 and 10?
Man, this is tough. My 9, I do have the Hawks.
Me too.
Number 10, I do have the Chicago Bulls.
Me as well.
Okay, so we're the exact same, although we flip-flopped Miami and Orlando.
Yeah. See, now this is where I think it'll get different. Is the Western Conference.
Yeah, this is a bloodbath over here.
So I actually think, so start out the West.
Number 1, Minnesota Timberwolves.
I have the Clippers.
Whoa, I don't hate it.
The Clippers are a game behind right now.
Yeah.
And I just think that they want to play for it more. I think they're just veterans. That doesn't mean anything in the playoffs, but I do think in the regular season that will give them an edge and they will end up.
So here's my take on the Clippers. I don't think they care 1 through 4 seed what seed they get. I think
just
they
not 5 through it. Yeah.
I just think they want home court advantage
for sure.
As of right now, they're 5 games ahead of home court advantage. So I don't think they really press for the 1 seed.
Yeah,
like the Timberwolves would want to. They have Rudy Gobert, who's shown year after year he's going to give you 50 wins. They're definitely on pace for it.
And they have Zesty Towns.
Man, he had a game last night, didn't he? The All-Star game.
Yeah, what was that?
50.
Towns shooting 35 times in an All-Star game was not on my bingo card.
I didn't love it.
Not on my bingo card.
He's not my favorite player.
No, not at all. So 2?
2, I have the Thunder.
I have the Wolves.
Okay. 3, I have the Nuggets.
So I have the Thunder there.
Okay. So again, we're different way across here.
Oh yeah.
Number 4, I do have the Clippers.
I have the Nuggets.
Okay.
Now we'll see where happens with these.
I have the Suns at 5.
I have the Suns as well.
This one's tough. I'm taking the Mavericks at 6.
I have the Mavs at 6.
I'm giving the Kings at 7.
Ooh, I'm giving the Pelicans at 7.
Okay.
And I thought about doing the Kings, but the Pelicans are kind of on a roll right now.
Yeah.
And I think they need to get that 7 over the 8 bad or they're done for.
You think so? They have to play their playing at home.
Yes. I think that's like what they kind of have to do.
My 8, I have the Los Angeles Lakers.
I have the Kings.
Okay. My 9, I have the New Orleans Pelicans.
Then I have the Lakers.
And my 10, I have the Golden State Warriors.
See, and that's where I was like, is this going to be the Utah or is this going to be Golden
It's not
State?
going to be Utah.
And I think when you put them head to head, I'm like, okay, well, Utah, it makes sense. The Jazz are probably in that same realm, but like Steph not making the playoffs at all.
He's going to make them.
Me, I would love that. Is that realistic?
Great.
No.
They're playing great their last few games.
Is that realistic? No.
It's not.
But I would love it. I mean, look, Eastern's pretty there. Western's going to be different. We'll see kind of where we end up. But I'm just going to say that's a pretty good list.
The Warriors in their last 5 games have beaten Utah twice, Phoenix, and Indiana. All really good teams.
Yeah.
I think they're going to finish the year really strong.
Yeah. Indiana's a nice team, man.
Dude, let me tell you, I love Halliburton, man.
Don't even get me started.
He's such a special
This will end up turning into a Halliburton podcast
if we
talk about him too much. Yeah. I mean, he is seriously starting the game 5 for 5 in that All-Star game. We'll get to that when in a second when we touch on All-Star, but he's an awesome player. But that I like that rankings. Also, let's go. Let's touch a little bit into All-Star weekend.
Let's do it.
So let's start out All-Star weekend, right? Shout out Puka Nacua for the great celebrity.
That was fun.
All-Star game performance. 2 sweet dunks.
16 points.
That was fun. You hit the over on your bet.
I did hit
but
the
did the
over.
one guy hit the under?
He hit the under.
That's huge.
Well, okay.
I don't even know who that is.
I'm going to toss the screenshot up here. It was Puka over 11.5 points.
Which was a lot from the start.
It was a lot. So I played high school basketball with Puka. Special athlete. If he played the minutes, he was going to score.
He was going to score.
Like, he loves this. Like, if you
he loves ball.
Yeah, if you play with him at like the Provo Rec, it was the same as like the All-Star.
100. It literally was.
Where it's just like kind of trying, kind of not, and he'll put up points, which he did. The other guy, Blackstone,
whoever, I still don't know who that is.
5'9", I believe, or 5'8". He's short, athletic build. He wasn't going to get minutes. I know that.
Yeah.
Anyone that has their line at 2.5 points, that they're just hoping that Vegas is hoping they just hit a 3 and go over.
Yes, 100%.
'Cause he's not scoring. Anyway, I won $30. This is the best day of my life.
No, that's a nice date night.
Yeah,
Or some diapers.
Great. Yeah, diapers are $24.99. So you're right.
Yep,
They're
diapers
getting
with a few
expensive.
change for maybe a monster or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But that was fun. And then skills challenge was like
Rising Stars. Don't forget about that.
yeah, Rising
That
Stars.
sucked.
Like I honestly didn't watch that one
I
very
watched
much.
parts of it.
Like I watched for Keontae. Walker Kessler was in it.
Walker won, right?
Walker did win.
Yeah.
Yeah, J-Dub hit a 3 to win. It was Team Tamika, I think.
Yeah.
So whatever.
What's the word I'm looking for? Rememberable.
Yep.
Like just not fun.
Just not it. Skills challenge honestly wasn't that great either. Did you watch that?
Scotty Barnes, parts of it. Scotty Barnes has my heart.
He's
as a fan.
just a good guy, man. Just you're out there, you're like, good job.
Yeah, I know, like,
just
clap for him. I'm like, Scotty,
yes,
good,
nice,
good
nice
try.
work,
Like,
man.
Yeah. He's a special player.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, so that one was kind of whatever. 3-point contest. This one was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Lowry, heartbreaker.
So I could have counted wrong. So out of all of the first round contestants, he made the most threes, but he just didn't hit any of the money balls.
Oh, that sucks.
So he made more than everyone else, but he didn't advance. He was
Everybody
1 point short.
tied to advance at 26.
Did
which
you
was,
watch the Sabrina versus Steph one?
Oh, we'll get there.
Okay.
So Dame ends up winning.
Okay.
No surprise.
Big weekend for him.
The Steph's versus Sabrina was actually fun.
She's
No, like
a hooper.
I'm trying to not sound as some might. I'm not gonna say it. Like I'm going to try and keep this as neutral as possible before, because obviously the goal in mind was to show equality.
So we both thought Steph was going to lose, right?
I thought they were gonna rig it for Sabrina.
Yep.
I thought they were legit gonna say Sabrina, so people they get more viewers. Like
Yeah.
Again, whatever.
Yeah.
I just thought that was gonna happen.
I did too.
And Sabrina goes out there and balls. Dude, when she made that first 9 out of 10, I was like hands like on the ground. Like
Yeah.
I was like, my eyes were wide, dude.
I was tuned into
No,
it. Dude.
no, like I was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
I legit was shocked.
Yeah.
And it was like kind of awesome. Like I haven't gotten that like shocked and like into a moment like that in a while.
So when you watch NBA players in person warm up or just shoot shots, you're like, oh my gosh, there's like an effortless level that like it's just so easy for them. Sabrina felt the exact same way.
And then there was no warm up.
No, she just went out there. Was just
And only one round. That was crazy
that
too.
was crazy
Because
That
like
was
just
crazy.
one round. So she gets 26, which would have tied
All the
everybody
guys.
else.
and she shot from the NBA line.
Yes.
Yeah,
She used a smaller ball,
girls ball, great.
but the fact that she took the step back was actually dope.
I like that.
No,
a lot.
like that was
I
actually
respect
that was kind of badass.
Yeah.
I was like that's cool. But then Steph goes out there and just Steph's. Like, and that's the thing. Everybody knows I'm not a Steph guy, but that's because of the media. I enjoyed watching Steph for the first time in I don't know how long because they were glazing somebody else.
glazing.
They loved Sabrina.
That's awesome.
They were loving her.
Except for Kenny.
And so when Steph came up, it didn't seem as exciting as if it was for Sabrina. So it made me enjoy watching Steph.
Steph's never been the underdog, except for in 2015.
So when I was watching him, I was like, I am enjoying his craft for the first time in forever because the glazing is over somebody else.
Yeah.
And so I had to point that out because I thought that was awesome. Then we go to the dunk contest. Dude, it's such a shame now. Mac McClung is the greatest thing that ever happened to the dunk contest in the last 5 years.
When the NBA's most paid player of all time is... I don't want to talk about it. It was the most boring. I had to turn it off.
Why are we bringing G League guys into this?
I'm so sick of it, dude. I wish there was an... Okay.
The dude wins the dunk contest back to back, and he's going back to Osceola.
Let's get into it.
Osceola, Florida.
You can pay $500,000 for an in-season tournament. That's technically just 2 games because you go down to Vegas and everything else counts as regular season. Throw some freaking money at these guys and let's get a show.
Jaylen Brown is who we're throwing money at?
Why are we putting Jaylen Brown in the dunk contest?
Dude.
Not saying that he's not athletic. He is. Ja freaking Morant, Zion Williamson.
Anybody else,
dude.
We have to bring Mac McClung into this.
He's not even in the league.
And he's going back to Osceola.
He had to get on a 10-day just to get invited.
He's going back to a team I've never heard of.
Sick of it, dude.
He was wearing a G League jersey as he won the NBA dunk contest.
Let's talk about the All-Star game then, because here's my other thing. I agree. We should donate money to charity. In fact, the league should give more money to charity.
I'm not even done talking about the dunk contest.
Let's get there. Let's get there, and then we can talk about the stupid All-Star game.
Because whoever one of those judges was, Mac McClung, he's 6 foot, he's white, and he's doing stuff we've never seen. Every other dunk I saw, we've seen millions of times. So I give Mac McClung the biggest just bow because he tries dunks that we've never seen.
I like the Toppin kid, Obi's little brother, I think.
Yes, Jacob. He was all right. Whatever.
The 360 between the legs, you didn't like that?
It was, the thing is we've seen it.
Yeah. How many dunks have we not seen though?
Exactly. But the thing is McClung at least tries things that no one's ever seen.
I like the
Jaylen Brown was just tugging the judges. The Dominique dunk was so stupid. But because he's wearing Dominique, he gets a good score. And then where he puts the glove on his left hand because everyone says he has no left, he didn't do anything.
I'm like, you don't have a left.
He just dunked with his left hand. And then the one where he forgot to do the D Brown in midair, he forgot and then does it at the end and got like a 49.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Dude, I can do that.
The game I loved is gone.
I can do that. And so that pissed me off. If it was so far, I was seeing tweets where it was like, I'm never going to say it anymore. If you want to look up tweets about the whole Jaylen Brown versus McClung thing, if they would have given it to JB, then you might have a good laugh there. But I'll talk about All-Star game. I love the East-West.
Love it. Those rosters were really fun.
I loved going back to the really East-West, but they have to start playing for something.
Dude. So we saw what $500,000 did for these players over, what was it, like a month of an in-season tournament game? Can we throw $50,000 out there?
Maybe even a home court advantage in the finals.
That's too big because there's...
Is it though?
Yes, because...
I think that's amazing.
I don't. Maybe, but it's like, how many players actually think they're going to get to the finals? This year in the West, maybe a little bit different, but like... You're right. This year, maybe. But like in years past... Listen, if we just threw money at these guys, the money talks, dude. LeBron, who doesn't get up for anything except for the playoffs, turned into playoff LeBron in November. Like, you're trying to tell me for $50,000 they wouldn't care a little bit?
Like, the thing is like we saw Dame cook. We saw Halliburton cook. In these games, you see how good these guys are. Like, how bizarrely good NBA players are. They're insane. They don't miss.
No.
They are literally insane. So if we could just get the competitiveness level like we did back in the day with that 8 game with MJ and Kobe, like genuinely battling head to head.
So I'm going to have you throw the link to this video in the description of this. The 2020 All-Star game, the first year
amazing.
They did the Elam ending, which where did the F word did that go? That was amazing. Why did we take it out?
I wonder if that was still a part, but it was just too much of a blowout.
They didn't even try it.
What happened to that?
That's what
I remember that they were going back and forth and actually trying.
So if you go watch that video, they're like doing post-ups for Embiid with like split actions on the like it turned into something incredible.
Yes.
And then this year it's just like, just roll it out. And Adam Silver before the game was like, expect this to be one of the best games you've ever seen.
It wasn't.
The idea of throwing, was it 24 guys in total?
Yeah.
The 24 best in the world at anything on a court and saying, go compete. You'd expect there to be a little bit of competitiveness. Zero. Dude. Not
Zero.
one person cared. When Steph blocked, who was it? Bancaro?
Bancaro. Fouled.
Like that was the first play. I was like, oh my gosh, like that was cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying Tyrese shooting or making 5 in a row wasn't cool, but like, I want to see them compete, dude. And here, okay, I tweeted this out.
That's
this morning,
all I want, dude.
I'm sorry, I'm really passionate about this one.
I'm genuinely enjoying the
But
rant.
outside of the money, like I know it brings Indianapolis a lot of money. I know it brings the league a little bit of money through like people watching it. If it's not for the money, who cares about this game? Because
Well, if I'm paying it for a ticket to go, I'm honestly walking away a little bit disappointed.
yeah, well, it's like, okay, so the players don't like it. I'm one of the biggest NBA fans. I like you, me, like
it's a
rare
small
breed,
circle.
and we aren't even enjoying it.
No.
So who is this game for?
Like I'm sitting there, I'm enjoying when Dame hits 2 half quarters.
Right, like, that's fun.
But like that's the thing is like I laugh, like I genuinely was like, this is awesome. But like that's awesome because it's a half court shot.
But
Okay.
it's like, okay, but now like who
I
else
would
is
much
enjoying
rather
this?
see them go at each other.
Like, thank you. And then here's the other thing. If it wasn't for the alt cast with Chuck and Draymond, did you watch that one?
I didn't even watch that one. I had to watch on the TNT app. My Shad canceled our YouTube TV.
Tough.
Yeah,
Tough
so
beat.
I was watching on the TNT app.
Love to split it with you if you want to jump
Yeah,
on.
no, that's a great offer. I'm honestly, he'll have to take you up
In
on
fact,
that.
I already have 2 other people on. It'd be pretty cheap.
Yeah,
we
let's
can
do
discuss the details. off
Yeah,
air.
let's definitely do that.
Anyway, the alt cast with Draymond and Chuck was incredible. And if it wasn't for that, I don't know how much I would have watched. But like, they didn't even talk about the game. They were just kind of going at each other, which was really interesting. The game itself is broken, which sucks, dude. We have the 24 best players in the world. We saw how talented they are, and they can't care a little bit.
Yep.
If
We gotta
we
throw
don't care
something
about
out
it,
there.
who cares about it is all I'm getting at.
Like the NFL Pro Bowl, I didn't even watch. It's flagged now. But the MLB All-Star Game,
that matters.
that has a stigma every single year to matter. Like
Yeah.
they legit, and like they'll deal. It's always like 1-0.
Yeah.
Because they have the best pitchers in the world and they're throwing heat.
Dude,
they're
they
not
have
throwing
to.
lollygags at
No.
them. They're not letting them bomb every single time.
Nope.
They're
That's
throwing
what,
heat.
That's what the freaking home run derby is for. That's what the 3-point contest
Yes,
is for.
exactly.
LeBron, if you want to show off your dunks in the All-Star game, sorry, you don't have an open lane anymore. Better get in the
Like
dunk
that's
contest.
the biggest travesty in the NBA is
Thank you.
LeBron never having done a dunk contest.
Because he knows he can just get him off in the All-Star game.
Like that's the thing is like they've got to be able to throw anything. So please let us know what would be a good substitution for the All-Star game to make it more competitive. What can they do to make the All-Star game
Can I throw 2
more
ideas at you?
competitive? Yeah.
One-on-one. That
Like a one-on-one competition.
Yep. A little bracket, 16 players, 24 players, whatever you want to do it. I think that'd be fun. Like you're trying to tell me John Morant versus Rudy Gobert in the semis isn't going to be electric. I'd tune in for that.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun.
That or 8 teams of 3 players, 24 players, tournament style, 3-on-3. You roll it out, go play.
3-on-3 would be insane.
3-on-3. Because here's the thing. You can't not try in 3-on-3 because at least one of the 3 guys is going to care.
Yes.
And then everyone cares. And with that, I think that would be a little more manageable with like a format and everything. Anyway, those are 2 ideas I loved. I saw them on Twitter.
And a 5v5, give us some ideas. Like what I personally think it's home court advantage in the finals.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great. But honestly, hey, it's been a great pod.
Yeah.
I love just talking, man. It's
fun.
been weeks. It's we always come in. We're like we don't have a lot to talk about, but like at the end of the day, like I could go another hour.
I was going to say, we're going over on time and I feel like I have more frustration.
Yeah, like I could keep rambling.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been a great episode. Catch us back every Tuesday. And this has been the STLK in the UTA Jazz Podcast. I'm Conjo. This is Paul. Like, subscribe, follow, all the above. Grab a monster, and we will see you next Tuesday.